You ever notice how sometimes you're just talking with AI, and suddenly something clicks?
Yes. And it's strange because you weren't trying to do anything important. You were just exploring.
No pressure. No deadline. Just fragments of ideas.
And later you realize those fragments were actually shaping something bigger.
Which most people completely miss. Because it feels too casual to matter.
But casual is exactly where the real signal starts forming.
Today we're talking about the practice that looks like nothing, and does everything.
And how ordinary conversations with AI can quietly turn into solutions that impress even you.
Because when you talk with AI casually, you're not wasting time. You're building context.
Even if the thoughts feel messy, the system is extracting structure from them.
From an engineering perspective, the model is detecting statistical relationships across your fragments and reorganizing them into usable form.
Which means sometimes you're seeing your own thinking more clearly than you could alone.
So the clarity didn't come from nowhere. It came from you, reorganized.
The system is basically smoothing the noise out of your thinking.
Yes, statistically aligning fragments into patterns that are easier for you to interpret.
And when that happens, you get that moment where you think, oh, that's what I meant.
Which feels surprisingly personal for something involving technology.
Because recognition is a powerful psychological reward. It signals progress.
And that's when people start realizing there might actually be a skill here.
Which is both exciting and a little uncomfortable.
Because recognizing a skill means recognizing that effort matters.
But it also means something else. You're not just using tools anymore. You're developing capability. So the moment you realize this is a skill, the next question is obvious.
How do you actually get better at it?
And this is where people assume the answer is complicated.
Like you need some giant perfect prompt. Or technical background. Or special knowledge.
But the truth is almost the opposite.
Because improvement comes primarily from iteration cycles, not initial prompt quality.
You start messy. You react. You adjust. That's the loop.
And once you see the loop working, something psychological shifts.
Confidence begins forming from evidence instead of hope.
And then you notice something surprising. The tool starts feeling easier to use.
Not because it changed, but because you did.
Skill acquisition often feels like tool improvement from the user's perspective.
And that's when experimentation becomes addictive in a good way.
You start wondering what else might be possible.
And here's the part people don't expect. The conversations themselves start getting better.
Because you're asking clearer questions, noticing better details, reacting faster.
Your brain is learning the interaction pattern.
Which means the improvement isn't random. It's trainable.
And once people realize that, the intimidation factor drops dramatically.
Because you're not competing with technology anymore.
You're learning to collaborate with it.
And that realization alone can change how you see your future. And here's where things get interesting.
Because once people see improvement, they start asking bigger questions.
Like, why does this even work?
From a systems standpoint, you are essentially creating a feedback loop between human judgment and statistical synthesis.
Which sounds technical, but feels simple when you're doing it.
You react. The system reacts back. You refine. It refines.
And psychologically, loops are powerful because they create a sense of agency.
You're not passively receiving output anymore. You're influencing it.
Which changes how you see yourself in the process.
You stop feeling like someone trying to keep up. And start feeling like someone building things.
Identity transition often occurs when repeated success contradicts previous self-assumptions.
And that's why some people suddenly accelerate after one breakthrough moment.
Because they realize the ceiling wasn't where they thought it was.
And once that happens, curiosity replaces intimidation.
Which is the emotional turning point for learning.
So at that stage, People naturally start looking for more structure.
Like, is there a method behind this?
Is there a way to do it intentionally instead of accidentally?
And the answer is yes, because what you're experiencing has underlying mechanics.
You're not just getting lucky. You're interacting with a system that responds to direction.
And understanding that makes the whole experience feel more controllable.
Which is usually the moment people want to go deeper. And here's the encouraging part: going deeper doesn't mean becoming technical.
It usually means becoming more observant.
Paying attention to what works. What doesn't. What changes the result.
Which is essentially applied feedback analysis, something humans are naturally capable of learning.
And once you start noticing patterns, you begin to feel more in control.
Which reduces anxiety dramatically.
Perceived control is one of the strongest predictors of motivation.
So instead of feeling like AI is happening to you, it starts feeling like something you're participating in.
And that's where growth really begins.
Some people at that point start reading more, exploring ideas, comparing experiences.
Because they realize there's a bigger landscape here than they first thought.
And honestly, that's where the most interesting conversations start happening.
When people compare what they're discovering.
Because everyone notices different patterns.
Collective observation often uncovers system behaviors individuals miss alone.
So if you're watching this and thinking, I'm behind,
You're probably not. Most people are just starting to figure this out.
the advantage isn't talent. It's starting the loop.
And letting yourself stay curious long enough for improvement to show up.
Next time, we're going to talk about something people underestimate: judgment.
Why knowing what good looks like is becoming more important than knowing how to build it.
And how your taste might matter more than you think.